All right, all right, all right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Scams. This is the artist known as Andrew speaking, and we are live streaming. I'll go ahead and tell you right away, this is probably going to be a short stream tonight, simply because I started late, and, and that was family matters, family reasons. My nephew had a birthday today, and we were all at his mother and father's house having cake and ice cream, and we just wrapped up, and my wife and I just got home, and now I'm live streaming. But I had a couple of announcements that I wanted to make, and I figured the live stream is the best place to do that. So I'll wait, give a few seconds, give a few minutes for a few more people to stroll in. But um, hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend. This is Labor Day weekend. So a lot of people may have Monday off. So it's a 3-day weekend for some, which is fantastic. It's a 3-day weekend for me, and I'm looking forward to having Monday off. Actually, I am attempting to get my videos, or at least several of them, set up and ready to go. That way, on Monday, I may actually be able to sleep in and not have to worry about sitting in front of the computer straining my eyes at all on Monday. I'll probably do it anyway, but I don't. If I don't have to, that's the way to go. But it's been a pretty good weekend so far. Very tired, but I'm here. Oh, Nigella Bloom says good evening. Good evening. How are you? Um, it was a busy day at the store, and which is always a good thing. And I only got one scam call today. Usually on the weekends, I don't get very many at all, if any. I did get one. It was actually on the way home from the store, coming back to the house, and it was a Spectrum scam call. And the guy says to me, he says, we're calling for Spectrum. Are you an existing Spectrum customer?" And of course, I lied and said yes. And then he hung up. I'm like, what the heck was that about? So, not really sure. Oh, Bill's here, says, just watching your Medicare videos. Oh, there's so many of them. It's becoming prolific, the amount of times they're calling, which is part of one of the things I wanted to tell you guys about tonight. But hey, Clark's here. Says, hey, Drew, how's it going, Clark? Hope everything's going good. Um, I've been getting so many of the Medicare scam calls that I started to do something new with them. I started to create a new, maybe I guess a character is not a good way to put it, but it's still Timothy. Timothy is probably the one that I like to do the best. Um, it's his story is evolving, and recently, one of the lines they use is that they ask you if you can make your own Medicare decisions, and I started screwing with the guy when he asked me that, and I said, "Well, yes, I can make my own decisions, but I have a live-in nurse who helps me out." And I started expanding on that and expanding on it. And I started telling people that she's very overbearing and she doesn't like me making any decisions for myself. She likes to make sure she has input. And if I do something bad, she punishes me. She'll keep me from getting fed, and she will refuse to give me dessert. And I just started having a lot of fun with it. Well, so far I've made 4 videos or 4 recordings, 3 of them Medicare, and one of them a final expense one, where I'm talking about my live-in home nurse and how cruel and mean she is to me. And the funny part is, in a lot of cases, I'm describing what most people would consider elderly abuse. I know elderly abuse is not something to joke about, but I'm messing with a scammer. But the funny thing is I'm describing these situations, and they are oblivious. They could care less. And it's like some of the things I say actually is rather maybe rather frightening, and they don't care, and they just keep going with their script. And I've been having a lot of fun playing this character who is under I originally thought about calling her Nurse Ratchet, but I thought maybe they'd catch on. So far in the fourth video that I have, I gave her a name. Her name's Mary. I haven't given her a last name yet, so that may be up for debate. But I've been having a lot of fun with this story, and actually, the fourth video that when it comes out, it's freaking hilarious because at one point I tell the guy that I'm not supposed to be talking on the phone because my nurse Mary doesn't like me to talk on the phone. But as long as she doesn't know, I'm okay. And the guy's like, "Are you sure you're supposed to be doing something that you're not supposed to do?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it." And I'm just having a ball messing with these guys. Let me just catch up on the chat real quick. Nigella says Spectrum 90% from Lahore, Pakistan. Oh, I could definitely believe that. And he says, I get many final expenses too. Yeah, the final expense and the Medicare ones are the ones I probably get nowadays the most. The Medicare, I get 3 to 4, 5 times a day. The final expenses, maybe 2. Um, I've gotten a couple of credit card ones, which are those are usually my all-time favorites. And I recently got a customs one, which I'm pretty sure I posted the customs video. I love screwing around with them. They're so much fun, especially when they tell you they're the authority figure and you should respect their authority. I absolutely love it when they tell you that. And they really try very hard to be serious about how they are the authority. Up, Rosie's here and says, "Hello, evening, everybody." Hello, hello, hello. Nigella says hello to Rosie, and Rosie says hi back. Fantastic, fantastic. So I've started what I consider my nurse storyline. The first video will go up Monday morning, but I've got 3 more that I'm making into videos. Um, I'm just having a lot of fun with this particular storyline, so I'm going to keep pushing it and see how far I can go with it, and just screw and screw and screw with them because I love doing it. But it's also funny, and I pointed this out, I think, in the video I put up this morning. You'd think after the number of times I have messed with these Medicare scammers that they would stop calling, but they continue to call. And now I'm absolutely sure they're all not in the same call center. There's probably several call centers, but you'd think maybe a couple of them would be in the same call center and have talked to me before. And I don't know. It's just I always pick on the credit card scammers in the fact that I know when they're calling me, it's a scam and I screw with them from start to finish, but they keep calling back. That's what these Medicare scammers, they just keep calling. And I I don't know. It's almost like they want the abuse. uh, Rosie's Cottage says, "Brilliant. I can't wait to see the videos." Yes, the fourth one is probably my favorite because I start playing into a character. Timothy becomes a character, and he's not necessarily childish, which is kind of how I played him, but it's more the fact that he has memory issues. Because I told him at the beginning, he said, "Do you have any type of illnesses?" And I said, "I have a bad memory. I have a memory issues." And at some point, he'll say my name, and I'll say, "Yes, my name's Timothy." "Yeah, that's me. I'm Timothy. Hi, how are you?" And just really start screwing with the guys. And I'm just having a ball with it. One of my ultimate goals has always been with this channel and these scam calls is to educate if possible, to make people aware of what these scams are and what they're about and what they're doing, but it's also to entertain. And I think the entertainment value should be I don't want to say the more important part, but if you're going to put up a video a day and you guys are going to follow along every day, you want it to be entertaining. I mean, how many times can you hear the same Medicare scam call? And you guys know what's going on. You know what they're trying to do. But the fact is, if I can make it entertaining, that's even better. So I'm working on that. I'm working on that. I'm definitely taking that into account with every call. Drag it out and make it funny, make it entertaining, you know? And if they drop F bombs at the end, it's like, yes, that's perfect. I love it. Because no professional in a call center is going to curse the way some of them curse. And if you can get them to curse just basic stuff, just asking basic questions, pissing them off, then it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Nigella says one call center has 40 to 50 scammers on average. I could believe that. Absolutely could believe that. And Clark says, I like the IBS the best. You can tell it makes them uncomfortable. Well, if they look up what IBS stands for, it's rather uncomfortable to begin with. It's for those of you who don't know, IBS is a known thing. It's irritable bowel syndrome, and I have family members that suffer from it, that have had issues with it in the past. It's very controllable under the right medication, so it's not something you're going to die of from, but it is very, very uncomfortable for people who have it. And when I first started saying itchy butt syndrome, it made me realize, wait a minute, that's the same initials as IBS. Well, I'll just tell them I have IBS and that it stands for itchy butt syndrome. So if they look it up, they're going to come up with irritable bowel, which, I mean, that's pretty bad too. But I mean, technically, it's a real thing. My version is not very real, but I like screwing with them. Oh, so the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight, um, and I do want to throw this out and get your guys' opinion. For the month of September, I was talking to my wife and I was saying, I really want to try to put out 2 videos a day. Oh, I know, shocking. That's crazy, Andrew. You're talking insanity, but I feel like I can do it. And as if you're a regular follower to the channel, we're on the third, and I've already screwed that up because there's only one video each day for the last 3 days. But what I'm thinking about doing is giving it a shot and seeing what happens. So starting on Monday, I'm going to post 2 videos a day. Not just a video and a short, which I kind of a little bit gave up on shorts. If I get a good one, I'll share it, but otherwise I'm not going to try to post a short every single day. But I've got enough videos stacked up, decent videos, that I could release 2 a day and not and it won't be stressful on myself. I'm planning to put one up at 10, which is my normal time, 10 Eastern time. And I figured the second one I'll drop it a few hours later, maybe at 2 or 3. We'll see how that goes. But I figured I'd let you guys know and tell you. And you guys, I get a lot of comments and I read all the comments. If it's too much or it's too little or too much, I don't know. If you guys don't like it, let me know. But I'm figuring I'd give it a shot, do it for a week starting on Monday, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what the analytics are. Um, does it give me more views? Does it give me more attention? I don't know. We'll see what happens. When I did the videos and then the shorts, there was an uptick to the amount of views that I got, which is great. I don't know really if it helped subscribers or advertising or any of that stuff. But YouTube sent me little messages. Hey, you're doing great. Great job. More videos means more views. Yay. We love it. So I don't know if it'll actually work or not, but we'll give it a shot and we'll see. And you guys will be the ones to tell me whether it works for you or if it doesn't. So it's just that easy. So Margarita's man's here, says hello to everyone. Rosie says, That's a lot of work, though, Drew. The extra videos would be fabulous, but don't feel like you absolutely have to. Okay, if you're too busy or too tired, etc., don't feel bad about skipping a day. Okay, well, I'll give you a little secret. Um, one of the days last week, I think it was either Thursday or Friday, I got so many good calls that I actually took about an hour and went ahead and had the videos made and scheduled. So the video that went up this morning, the video that goes up tomorrow, and the video that goes up Monday morning have already been done. So to add an extra video for Monday, it's really not a hardship. It would just be another video to make sometime this weekend, which I have time this evening. And Sundays is usually one of those days that the wife and I, we watch a movie or we watch a TV show together while we eat dinner. And then I have a few hours to do stuff. And if I actually put that time towards making my videos, I can get several done and get them scheduled and get them out there. So we'll see. It's honestly, it's not, I don't believe it's a hardship for me to do it. It's just a matter of doing it. You ever had that? You ever have that situation where there's something you like to do, but it takes time and you can do it. You just got to do it. I should be an inspirational speaker here, you know? If you got something to do, just do it. But needless to say, I've got lots of good videos or good recordings, I should say, that I think would make good videos. And I always do the little intro at the beginning, which takes a little bit of time. I always make sure I edit out either with my telephone number or something that's actually really for me. I edit it out, or if they go into some cursing tirade, I try to edit that out as well. So there is a little effort in that. But making videos, to me, it's usually just a lot of fun. I like doing it. It's the longest part of the process is making the video. But I use a Mac, and the tool I use is iMovie. And if you guys are not familiar with iMovie, it is very, very simple to use. There's some really basic controls that once you get those and you understand them, boom, 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 you can knock out a video. And it's really not a big deal. But I think 2 videos a day should not be a problem. But we're going to try it for a week and we'll see what happens. We'll see if you guys are entertained, if I achieved the goal I'm setting out for myself. We'll see what happens. Rosie's Cottage says hi to Margarita Man. Bill says, I tried to email an Indian government and got a fake email. Oh, really? That's funny. That's funny. Clark says, how long does it take to edit a video depending on how long the call is? I try to, if I get a good one going, my goal is to keep them on the line at least 10 minutes or more. If I can get them 15 minutes and still going, I'm like, yes, this is awesome. Just a long form video is good. Sometimes videos or calls will only last 4 or 5 minutes. If I have a bunch of short videos, I try to string them along and do a day in the life to make it more entertaining, having more videos. But the average is usually 10 to 12 minutes is what I try to achieve. In order to edit that, it usually doesn't take very long. I do when I save each video out, once I've got it done and edited and save it, I then do a compression. I use, what is the name of that program I use? Let me see. It's right here in front of me. It's, oh goodness, what is the name of this program? Where's the information? Oh crap, I forgot the name of it. But it's a compression program that takes a video file, usually an MP4. You can use all different videos, and it runs it through, and it just compresses it to the point where it's usually about a third of the size. And that's very helpful when it comes to storing these videos when I'm done editing them, as well as quicker upload times for YouTube. So if you don't have, what is the name of this program? Heck, this is one Todd turned me. Oh, Handbrake. There, it's right there. The name of the program is Handbrake. I've used it. It's a fantastic program. You just drag and drop your file once it's ready. You hit the button to compress it, and it usually can take like maybe a 5 meg video and knock it down to 2 megs, or whatever. It usually compresses a decent amount to where if you're going to store it on your computer or you're going to store it on an external drive, you can put more. So I actually have a 2 or 3 external drives that I keep my video library on, of all the videos I've made, as well as all the references and all the clips and so forth. So if I ever had to go back and rebuild my entire channel, I could do it. It would take time, but I could do it. But I keep those on those files, and compressing them first saves so much space. So if you do make videos for YouTube, consider using a program similar to Handbrake. I'm fairly certain this was a free program, and I'm not sure if it's a Mac program or if it's for Windows as well. But I've never had an issue with it. It always works great. Just drag, drop, and it's good to go. So definitely, it's one that Todd turned me on to. He said, try this, see if it works for you. And it's been fantastic ever since. So, and it does compress files really well, and yeah, highly recommend it. Let me go back to Clark's message. He says, how long does it take to edit a video depending on how long the call is? Yeah, if it's a good call, to be honest with you, if it's a good call where they don't repeat my phone number or they don't curse in it, and I don't have to manually edit anything, editing a video, adding the intro, adding the outro, adding the shrinking down. I mean, normally when I'm recording the video, I'm right in the middle, but I move it. I move the screen over so that I could put "It's a Scam" up in the corner. Just little things like that. But with iMovie, it's real simple. That kind of editing is really easy to do. But yeah. Nigella says, do you consider tweeting your video links? I am on Twitter, or let me correct that. I have a YouTube. I have a Twitter. I do have a Instagram. I just rarely ever use them. And I kind of at one point said YouTube is my focus. I'm just going to stay here on YouTube. I at one point was putting stuff on Instagram, but Instagram is one of those programs that works better if you're using your cell phone to upload pictures and stuff. There is a way to upload stuff using your computer onto Instagram, and I've done that before. I haven't been there in so long. It's kind of it. YouTube, I mean, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram are kind of like forgotten social media platforms for me. I really do want to one day go back and start. I even started a TikTok. I started a Rumble page. I know I have a Discord that I'm never at. So I do have some of these other social media platforms. I just barely ever use them. I like to focus on YouTube. And I know a lot of people say, in order to get more people interested in your stuff, you've got to blast it out on all the different social medias to get people's attention. And I am appreciative to everybody who has found my YouTube channel, follows along, comments, and is there. I kind of don't want to spoil it with the other, the Twitters and the Instagram and the Insta. I don't know what the kids call it, but whatever. But I have thought about doing stuff actually with Rumble. Somebody was mentioning doing, what is it when you post in one place and you post in another, dual posting or something like that, where if you put a video out on YouTube, also put it out on Rumble and kind of build audiences in both places. I'd rather them all focus on one. I think a lot of people like to use alternate sources like that because they risk, or they think they're in risk of being shut down. Like if my YouTube channel was shut down today, I'd pretty much be screwed. but I don't put any content on there that I think puts me at risk. You know, I'm not out there talking about politics or religion. I'm not talking about social stuff. I'm exposing piece of crap scammers and having fun doing it. It's one of those things where if that's bad, then I'm guilty. But I may start building on the my Rumble channel and posting videos there as well. But we'll see. Right now, I'd rather just focus on YouTube. I mean, I like posting on YouTube, and you know, oh well. Rosie says hello, says to Bill, laugh out loud. Honestly, should you report that to them? Oh, about the government? They're probably aware of it. Bill says sometimes editing can take a lot of effort, depending on how much useless footage there is. Yes, I used to when I started doing my first videos. If there was like a half a second or three-fourths a second with dead air, I would clip that out. Oh, that became so annoying, taking all that time to do that. It's it's a lot of work. I try to keep the conversation going, but if there is long periods of dead air or long periods of hold music, I try to cut that stuff out. But yeah, sometimes you have to do that. Alvin's here. Alvin says, "Hi from New York City. Love your videos." Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Rosie says to Nigella, tweeting is a great idea, and also an email list maybe. Well, on my website for my store and my publishing company, which is misfitcorner.com, in case anybody wants to go check it out, I do have a sign up for a newsletter, which I've never actually sent the newsletter out. It's one of those things you set up when you're first setting up a web page, and remembering and following through is always the bane of my existence. But I mean, you're more than welcome if you guys want to sign up there. I haven't actually sent anything out yet. And I've had that website for 2-3 years. Yeah, I know. Bad. Hey, I use the community posting ability on YouTube. I at least do that. I think the last one I put up was like 2.5 weeks ago, but I mean, at least I use it, right? Guys, I'm just so bad at that stuff. You know, my wife, she doesn't care about the numbers. But when it comes to my store, I will fill her in on some of the goings on with number wise. And last year, at the end of the year, I came to her and I showed her how the income for the store improved over the previous year and by how much and so forth. And she looked at some of the numbers and she said, "You improved your income and your sales, and you still had no advertising whatsoever." And I said, "Yeah, I know. No advertising. I didn't pay anybody anywhere to advertise the store. It's all word of mouth. It's all people coming, checking it out, saying, 'Hey, I like this,' and telling a friend and getting somebody coming and said, 'Hey, my buddy told me about your store.' Great. And sometimes that works for me in the fact that it's a one-man show. I'm there by myself doing it. If I had a flood of people coming in, I probably couldn't handle it. But right now, just the number of people I get on a weekend and so forth, I'm able to handle it. I know a lot of my customers by name. They've shopped with me for many, many months to many years. I know a lot of them by name. I chit chat, talk to them. Sometimes when we get into conversations about what they're doing or what they're looking for, I try to remember that and I talk to them about it. I got a guy that comes in. He's an older guy, really nice guy, very quiet and soft spoken. We had a conversation one day, and he told me his favorite character was the Thing from the Fantastic Four, the big rocky guy. For those of you guys out there that don't follow comics, and I just so had happened to one night on my drawing channel did a really quick sketch of the Thing, and the guys teased me because it didn't look anything like the Thing, and it was just me screwing around. And I remembered him saying that, so I brought the sketch and I kept it in the store. And the next time he came in and I remembered this is the guy that likes the Thing, I said, "Hey, I got something for you," and I gave him the sketch. He loved it. He's told me he has it hanging up in his office. He comes back every other week just check on me and see what new stuff I got, and thoroughly loves it. And he loves my art. And I'm like, yeah, that's the way to do it. But I can handle it by myself. I think that's the roundabout of this whole story is what I do right now. I can handle. I can handle the channel. I can handle the videos. I can handle the scam calls. I can handle the store. I can handle everything by myself. I don't need any help. I can do it myself. And if I tried to advertise or if I put stuff out on Twitter and I got more interest, it might become too overwhelming and I might not be able to handle it. And then some people would think, well, dummy, you want to continually grow. And that's right. But you don't want to grow too fast. Anyway, so make a long story short, Alvin, thank you for joining. Rosie's, thank you very much for the idea. Um, I really do need to have more interactions with people. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I do this live stream on Saturdays is to talk to people. And I have such a ball doing it. Todd and Avery are often, they won't admit to this, but they're often jealous about how many people I get into one of these chats, just going back and forth and talking. It's great. It's great. Nigella says, my scam baiting audios are on Twitter. Oh, really? Okay, very cool. Well, if you've got a link, what's your Twitter handle? Put it in the thing so that people know to go check it out, okay? LA's here said, what happened to the IRS phone scam? The IRS phone scam? Which one are you talking about? I don't think I've gotten an IRS phone scam in a while, to be honest with you. The antagonizer says, what's your funniest scam call? I've gotten a lot. Oh, actually, I do have one that I consider, it may not be the funniest, but I think the title of the video is the worst thing I've ever done. It was during the time when there was a time right before the end of the year where we were getting dozens and dozens of the healthcare calls, and sometimes I don't necessarily know if they're scams or not, because sometimes you really can't tell. But this particular group of people that were calling, I had told numerous times I did not need their help. They did not need to call. They could stop calling. But they called and called and called. And I got a call one time, and I pick up the phone and I hear the voice, the intro voice, so I know who it is. I know it's this group, these people. And when the lady comes on the line, I start screwing with her and start pretending like I'm locked in the basement, and she believed me. There was a short amount of time in the audio version of this video where she was concerned for me, and I dragged it out and dragged it out, and I was telling her stuff like, please be quiet or he's going to come and beat me, he's going to come and hit me. And she's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And then I said, okay, really quiet, like, tell me how I can save money on my health insurance. It just screwed with them royal, and it was fantastic. It was funny as hell, but I had a good time with it. Oh. Nigel says the IRS scams morphed into Amazon from the FTC and bank. Yes. Okay. Now I know what you're talking about. I haven't gotten any follow up to those. At least the last one I got. I think that one started as an Amazon scam, then went to the Bank of America, which I've never banked with, and then it went to the Federal Trade Commission. Yes, you're right. You're right. It didn't have anything to do with the IRS. But I haven't gotten any follow up to that one. But I dragged that one out a while. That was a lot of fun. Hold on a second. As Anyad says, prolific and reliable. Best wishes for success. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Prolific. I don't know if I've ever been called prolific before. Reliable? Yeah, I can see that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Clark says, "Got to stick with your what you're comfortable doing. If it's not broke, don't fix it." Yep, that's true. That's true. But part of me, like for example, with these 4 calls that I've done so far with the nurse, with the at-home nurse, if I just did those as regular videos, that would be like 4 days worth of videos. And I had so much fun with them. I don't want to wait 4 days to share them with you. I want 2 to go up on Monday and 2 to go up on Tuesday. That and shorten the amount of time that you guys get to hear these videos because they're funny. Now, some might say, why not just make one really long video? I could do that, but I got to have content for the channel, you know? But actually, I know the 4th video was 13 or 14 minutes long. So I mean they're decent sized video. They're not like really quick 2-minute ones. So I think you guys will you'll enjoy them. Nigella says my handle is Aurora777. Okay, excellent. I will give me a second. Let me write that down. Oh, see, now you're going to make me go to Twitter. Damn it. That's okay. That's okay. There I have one friend of mine, my friend Rick, who sometimes chimes in from Canada. Every time he reaches out to me on Twitter, knowing I don't go to Twitter, because he'll send me a message and he'll say something, and then he'll say, "You know what? I just realized you're never going to read this," and then he'll send me another message that says, "A month from now, when you actually read this, say hi." He picks on me, but I mean, he knows I don't respond to Twitter, and he's very active on Twitter, so you know. Rosie says, just found your channel on YouTube and have subbed, Nigella. Okay, excellent, excellent, fantastic. OMG, LOL. I know, I know. Poor lady, you had her all worried. I did. And you know what's so funny is there's a follow up to that video because believe it or not, that same company called again, like the very next day. And I took on the character of the person who was keeping the person in the basement, and I started yelling at them like, who talked to my person, and they're not allowed to use the phone, why are you talking to them? And it was just funny. It was just me screwing with them, but I had told them, I think the issue was is they kept calling for my wife, and I would tell them she's not available. This is her husband. And when they would start to tell me what it was about, I'd say, listen, you don't need to call. And their excuse for continuing calling is they never spoke to my wife, and my wife never told them to stop calling. So they were going to keep calling. Annoying as hell. And I actually had some recordings with that company in which I demanded to speak to a supervisor, had somebody who claimed to be a supervisor on the phone, and went into great detail about how I've told them numerous times not to call, but they continue to call. And he's like, we'll take care of it. I still got calls from them. They just despicable people. And whether or not it was a scam or not, I don't know. Part of me thinks it was just an annoying spam calls, which, to be honest, that's very much like scam calls in the fact that they don't give up. They keep calling, but eventually they did stop calling. But it was weeks on end of them constantly calling like every other day or every day, and me either screwing with them or telling them not to call anymore, and they continue to call. So they got what they deserved. Maybe I'm almost absolutely positively assured that once the new cycle of healthcare, when you have to go and choose what plan you're going to pick for next year, they'll start calling again. I'm absolutely sure I'll get those calls again. But here's the thing, the scammers, those Indian call centers and all, they know what type of calls people are getting, and they pretend to be those type of callers. They call you about things, and they try to take advantage of you. So you never know for sure whether or not they're real or not, you know. If it's a foreign sounding person, yeah, pretty, really sure that it's a scam. And never, ever, ever give them your personal information. Just don't do it. Oh, hey, Betty. How's it going? Betty's here. Good evening, ma'am. How are you? I hope everything is going well. Bill says, I have another channel with 583,265 videos on my DIY, my do it yourself videos, but it's not as important with what you're doing. Oh, Bill, tell us a little bit about what it is. I mean, you feel free to post in the comments and have people go check you out, Absolutely. You know, 583,000 videos. That's fantastic. That's actually very cool. Betty says hi to Nigella, and Nigella responds back to Betty. I was gonna see. I was just checking to see which cats are in the room. Right now, it's my wife's fat cat Benji and the Princess Regal. They're sitting on the boxes. I thought Betsy was in here, but I guess I guess she went out to go torture the dog. She has a tendency to like jump all over him. So, oh, hold on a second. Let's see what's going on. Rosie Cottage says, Drew, you actually saved me from panic earlier this week. So sending hugs and many, many thanks to you. Virtual hug. I got the dreadful pop-ups. Oh no. Pop-ups are horrible. Got to be careful with that stuff. My father, actually no, it was an email pop-up that he got, but they can be convincing and they can be scary. So Betty says, laugh out loud. And Bill says 583,000 views. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. Well, still, you can tell us about your channel and share it here. We're sharing, people. Rosie says, the only site I've been to as well was the Microsoft App Store to get a DVD player app for my external DVD drive. Hated Windows 11. Really, what was wrong with Windows 98? I used to have a machine I called a Frankenstein machine. It was a Windows computer that I had to replace the fan, the power source to it, and the one that I got wasn't the same. That wasn't the right size, but it worked. So I literally had half the side of the computer off in order for that thing to fit in there, and the thing and I loved that computer. I loved it. I refused to upgrade it because it worked so well, but it was a Frankenstein computer in the fact that there were pieces attached to it that were all different sizes. But if it works, you keep using it. Oh, Betty says you read everything. Laugh out loud. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, including the emoji titles. Hey, if it comes up, virtual hug, I'm going to read virtual hug. Rosie says, well, past me would have panicked and run around the room. New me, thanks to watching videos, I used my tablet and Googled pop-ups on Chrome. Yep. There's a I know Google Chrome has certain types. Oh, what are those things called? Oh, geez, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's those things you can turn on and turn off. Like if you get a pop up from a certain company, like my wife used to get the pop ups from. It was one of those ones that say they save you money. So if you Google something, it'll pop up an advertisement for that thing and save you money on it. You could turn that off by going to the Google Chrome. Oh, I forgot, what is the thing called? And you can turn that stuff off, or you can delete them altogether. It's not a pop-up blocker. Craig said pop-up blocker. It's not a pop-up blocker. It's oh, maybe that's what it is. Okay. She says calm sort of went to the Chrome settings, then properties, then permissions, and blocked all permissions that were named on the pop-ups. There you go. There you go. There's what is the word I'm looking for? It's not. Oh well. All right. Never mind. There's smarter people out there than me that know exactly what I'm talking about because all I'm doing is babbling right now. But well. And Betty says, "I got to be careful not to make a mistake here." That's right, because if you do, I'll read it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, oh, wait a minute. Uh, Betty says, "I remember I learned why my favorite emoji that used all the time meant because you read it." Oh, okay. I'm I know and what's so funny is the emojis have um either colons or semicolons, whatever it is, before and after it, so that you, if you're reading it, you can tell that it's the script for the emoji. And I just ignore that and read it anyway. Bill says, "I just wanted to tell you, I just want to let you know that what you scam baiters are doing are more good than many of the most popular channels dribbling horse manure." Laugh out loud. Well, thank you. And Rosie said, "So thank you, Drew. You saved me from a panic." No problem. No problem. A lot of stuff with the computers, if you just calmly handle it, my mother-in-law is one. She'll get an email and she will panic. And it could be the simplest thing. And she's learned to, before she panic and reacts to an email, let me take a look at it, and she'll share it with me, and 9 out of 10 times it's some type of scam phishing thing. She got one time, I forget who it was from. They claimed to be from our cable and internet provider, and she's always up to date on her bills. And it said, "If you do not respond to this, your internet service will be stopped," or whatever. It was a very threatening thing. And she panicked and was going to respond to it, but she stopped and said, "Let me let Andrew take a look at this." And she showed it to me, and I said, "Okay, let's look at this and let's diagnose this." And I said, "Look at the email that it's coming from. That's not your cable provider, your internet provider, is it?" And she goes, "No, it's not." And I said, "If you click on the link, don't click on it, but if you hold it down, it'll show you what the website that it's trying to point you to is." And I said, and I read it out to her, and it was definitely not her internet provider. I said, "This is a scam. You did the right thing. You held off. You didn't panic and react." And she's up to date on every bill. There's no way anybody's going to cut off anything, but it was enough to make her panic. So don't let them get you. Don't let them get you. All right. And Rosie says, "Oh, yep, I already read that part." Okay. Rosie says, "Yes, well said, Bill." Bill. Betty says, "Once I had a pop up that the only way I could get it off was to uninstall Chrome, install it again." Ooh, I'd hate to have to do that, but sometimes that's what you have to do. My wife had one of those. Oh, it was right on the tip of my tongue. Right on the tip of my tongue. I forgot what it's called, but it was one that anytime she would Google search anything, it would pop up with alternate, savings for whatever it was. If she typed in pillow top mattress, it would pop up and say, "Hey, check out this site. This has got the better price or better." And oh God, it was annoying. And it didn't matter what you typed in, it would always pop up with something. And I think at one point she thought it was helpful, but after a certain while, would you put in, it doesn't matter what you put in, you could be Googling puppies and all of a sudden it would, "Oh, this is a good place to buy puppies." And you're like, "I'm not trying to buy puppies. I just want to see pictures of them." It got annoying. And we eventually went and turned it off. Oh, it was right there. I almost had it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. Betty says she agrees with Bill. Rosie says it was very scary in that instant. Yes, yes, absolutely. Um, Betty says, "Drew, that is what I do, but passing over it has to be done carefully, or you might click by accident." Yes, that is true too. "Oh no," says Rosie. "Betty, I'm sorry that happened. Tech actually hates me. I'm convinced it's bullying me. It bullies me. My mother-in-law calls me her IT guy. So whenever she has an issue, she calls me to come fix it. And just checking to make sure she's not standing behind me. 99% of her issues are simply something is not connected. Like she'll be trying to print something and the printer is not connected, just needs to be turned on in some cases, or it needs to be reconnected to the Wi-Fi or whatever. And it's usually when she comes to me and says, "Hey, I've got an issue," it's usually something simple that I can fix right there and then. There was one day that we had an issue. She had gone on vacation, came back, and her computer was not recognizing the Wi-Fi. And I'm on her computer in her office, which is out on the other side of the house, and I'm trying to log in, trying to get it, and I do not know what's going on. It was just so frustrating. So I left it alone for an hour. I came back, it still wasn't connected, and then I grabbed it and said, "I'm just going to take it to my office where I have the router right here." And I came and I sat down and I flipped it open, and all of a sudden it was connected and everything was working fine. And I went back and told her, "This guy fixed it. I didn't do shit." To be honest with you, it just needed whatever kick in the butt it needed to connect. But she thinks I'm an IT god because of that. So Betty says, those are malware. They'll redirect your searches. Yes. And yes, they make it look helpful, but they make the computer slower too. Yep. I have a program that I use on my Mac. It's called Clean My Mac, I think is the name of it. I actually bought it because it worked really, really well, but it does a very deep diagnostics view of your computer, and it helps remove and eliminate stuff like that. I think it's another one Todd turned me on to. He also uses a Mac and kind of pointed me in the right direction, and I think it's a very good program. It's one that I bought and I renewed it last year, and I still use it. Like every month or so, I'll do the internal diagnostic run and everything. And whether or not it speeds up my computer or not, I don't know for sure, but it does identify and get rid of a lot of useless junk that pops in. So Rosemary says, "I just got here." Oh, hey, welcome, Rosemary. Welcome to the show. Betty says hi to Rosemary. Rosie says hi. Betty says, "Be right back." And Rosie says, "Hello." But whew, I hope everybody out there is having a good weekend. I know I was running late this evening, but we are going to start wrapping up. It's been just over 53 minutes, and I've been talking nonstop, and I'm ready to take a break. Oh, Vicky's here. Says, "Me too." Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. There was something that was right here before that. Rosemary says, "Sorry, I meant hi all." That's okay. And then Bill says, "Sometimes Alt Control Delete Task Manager End Task can kill many pop-ups." That is true. That is true. I don't think Alt Control Delete Task Manager End Task works the same on a Mac though. I think there's a different command. It's called let me see, Force Quit. That for an Apple, for a Mac, Force Quit instead of End Task. So just a little something to tell you. When I worked at a company for 23 years, and when my job went away, they gave me a nice big fat severance package. And the very first thing I did when I got my money is I bought a new computer. And I hadn't had a new computer in many, 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 many years. Matter of fact, we hadn't had a new computer in the family and since my wife started college, and that was a long time before that. And so the very first thing I did is I bought my Mac, and it's the big, huge, I think it's a 23-inch Mac, built in everything. And I've had it for 6 years now. Fantastic. I absolutely love this machine. It's only ever given me issues once or twice. And I used to take it to the store and bring it home, and now it's got a crack that runs right through the whole damn thing. But it still kicks butt and is great. I won't go back to a regular Windows PC. I'm sticking with Mac. I know it's very different from a Windows PC. There's a lot of different programs, different controls. I mean, heck, the close button and minimize buttons on the other side, where Windows it's on the right side. On the Mac, it's on the left side. You get used to it, but I I won't go back to a Windows PC. So Vicky says, "Me too." I already read that. He says, "What comics are hot next week?" Oh, I'm not sure. I haven't even looked yet. I'll have to take a look a little later. But honestly, I bought two collections, one last week and the one the week before, and I'm still going through them. And then there was a guy who purchased a storage unit, and in it was a whole bunch of boxes of comics, and he's been selling them, and I've been going and picking through that and buying comics. I've been having so much fun going through those boxes. There's a lot of crap in there, and there's a lot of really good stuff in there, and I found some really nice stuff in there, and the guy's selling it all out for two for $1. So yeah, I'll show you one of the things I found in there. I mean it's not hugely great, but this is I forgot when this issue came out, but this is Blade the Vampire Hunter, issue number 1. This is from the Midnight Suns line of comics. It looks a little cheesy, a little 90s cheesy looking. But this is the first appearance of a couple of new bad guys for Blade. And this comic, ungraded, a 9.4, guides for about $75 because it's the first appearance of these people, which may be rumored to be in the next Blade movie. So this is one I may consider getting graded because it's a really nice issue, and if it grades high, like a 9.6 or a 9.8, it could triple or quadruple the value. And being a $75 book all by itself that I paid 50 cents for is fantastic. Oh, let me see what Rosie says. There is a meme image on Pinterest. It's got Yoda using the Force, wee hands outstretched, and says, "What my family thinks I do to fix the internet," and then shows power cord being unplugged and replugged. Oh, that is exactly true. I don't know if you guys, it's either Geico or Allstate or something. It's where the guy is trying to help the people not become their parents. And it's so funny because there's this one clip from the commercial where the guy is showing him some stuff that he printed out from the internet. And he turned to the guy and says, "Listen, we don't have to print the internet. My mother in law prints everything. And it drives me crazy. Having her printer work is probably the main issue I tackle with, but she prints everything. Every email, every attachment, everything she finds, she prints. She has folders and binders filled with stuff. Oh, well. Rosie says, "It's good to know, Bill. Thank you." Yes. Bill says, "Thanks. I may get a Mac. I need to expand my horizons." Well, one of the other reasons why I got a Mac is I had been told that artists use Macs more than PCs, more than Windows PCs. And I think I can understand why. Um, a lot of the programs that you use are exactly the same. Photoshop, Illustrator, these programs are exactly the same, but on a Mac there's better storage capacity. There's better it's just better. The fact that I've had this computer for 6 years and I'm still using it and it's still kicking butt. A Windows PC that was more than 2 years old would probably be bugging out and having problems, and the Mac is 6 years old and still kicking. So, I mean, that right there is more than enough to point you in the direction of a Mac, you know. Vicky says, "Looks in great shape." Yep. Oh, one of the other things I forgot to mention that I'm going to be doing this weekend, actually on Monday, I'm going to be rearranging my office. So to try to create a more professional looking workspace. Um, right now, my computer is against one wall and you're looking at the other wall. And right now, it's just junk. My wife gets really upset when she comes in and she sees like the laundry basket full of laundry, and she's like, that's on your camera right now?" And I said, "Yeah, well, yeah, nah, they don't care." I mean, if I moved over a little bit, you guys would see a litter box, because that's just where the litter box is at. I just happen to have a litter box in my office. But I'm going to be rearranging everything, and I'm going to attempt to build a more professional looking video space. Like right now, you see my desk, there's crap all over it. That's my work desk. That's my regular work desk. The bookshelf behind me has got crap all over it. You guys can see onto the floor. There's junk everywhere. I'm going to try to create a better space for making better videos. That's it. That's the goal. Bill says nerds will take over the world. Yes, we will. Vicky says the comic book. Uh, looks in great shape. The comic. Oh yes, the Blade comic. Oh yeah, it's fantastic. It's, if I had to guess, I'd say 9.6, but it could easily be a 9.8. It's one of those cardstock um, covers with foil on it, and the spine looks fantastic. I'm very happy with it. There were several other issues that I got out of this sale that I'm just over the moon with, but that was one of the ones I pulled out that valued very high, that I didn't realize it, and that's like a great find. So Rosie says you have to show her the settings on the printer that says save to PDF, which I have. I use it to print everything too. Now I save useless PDFs, so many of them. She has a hard time figuring out where she saved them. You don't have no idea how often we've had to go searching for something that she saved as a PDF because she's not sure where she saved it to. There's not very many places it defaults to, but she can still lose it. Bill says nerds have taken over the world. Just ask Bill Gates. You know what I find so funny about the Bill Gates story is the fact that he's buying up farmland. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was a billionaire, a huge billionaire, I damn well would start buying up farmland, be able to produce my own, you know, food and vegetables and so forth, and cattle and graze. I mean, I wouldn't be out there buying NFTs or, yeah, Todd will probably hate me for saying that. I wouldn't be buying stuff you can't use, you know? But yeah. Rosie says, we only see the fur babies. Yeah, they're down here. Nope, one of them ran away. I'm not sure where he went. If he knows I'd be willing to give him treats, he'd be right here next to me. But they're being good today. Kanaski says, my MacBook Pro was built in early 2015 and still going strong. Yeah, that's another good thing about Macs is they have longevity to them. At least that's what I've had so far. Now I've told my wife that I want to buy a new computer probably after the end of the year, so it'll be an expense for next year. But buy a new computer and take this one to the store. Right now, I have a very small Windows machine at the store. I literally just run Excel on it to keep track of inventory and sales and so forth. But I would love to take this into the store. I can use it to make videos while I'm there because it has all the video and editing equipment and stuff on it that I need. So I don't normally make videos in the store unless I take this computer in. But if I buy a new computer, I'll take this one to the store and leave it in the store and use it there. So, and then maybe I can do more stuff. Rosie says, I can't talk. I lost my glasses and found them in the fridge. Oh, my wife has done that where she's actually put them in her hair and not realized it and couldn't find them, and they're on top of her head. It's one thing. I don't lose track of my glasses. I try very hard not to lose track of my glasses because I am blind without them. So I make it a point to know where they are at pretty much all times. As a matter of fact, my backup pair hangs on a uh, what are those things called? The things that hang around your neck, a lanyard. My backup pair is on a lanyard in my car, hanging from my rear view window, so I know where it is at all times. Bill says I was trying to outbuy China's farmland purchases. Hey, you never know. I think I tried to convince my wife that we should start with chickens. We should have a chicken coop and have chickens and get fresh eggs every morning and that type of thing. But from what I understand, they are very stinky animals. Their pens are usually very stinky, and I do not think that in this particular neighborhood, the housing development would allow you, the homeowners association, whatever, would allow you to have live chickens. So, oops. But that's I think that's where I would start. Chickens. And on that note, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I appreciate everybody who came to the show tonight. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Please have a very safe holiday weekend. If you guys are going to travel this weekend, please be safe. Say hi to relatives and friends and give everybody a hug, because you never know. We had a family gathering this evening for my nephew's birthday, turning 22, and we all gathered at the house, and it was great seeing everybody because we hadn't seen everybody in a while, and it's always a good thing. So spend time with family, say hello to them, warn them about scam calls, tell them to check out the channel. Yeah, that'll work too. But I appreciate everybody, and I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Peace out, and I'll see you all next time. Take it easy, everybody.